Skye here. Today we're going to continue working on our stay. She's doing awesome with that play, so she understands the importance of staying in position while I am walking away. We've been doing a lot more door work with me fully leaving before I come back and reward her. But just the stay without the placemat is a little bit harder for her, and that's completely fine. She doesn't understand the stationary stay as opposed to the place stay, but that's why I like to start with place so she can understand that concept first before we add that into something else. Good girl, Skye. Okay, good girl. You need it. Good job. That as well is we're gonna start working on a heel. We've been doing some pretty good on Lucy's walking today. I just have her naked because she's better that way. She's a little more engaged without that leash on her, and it's easier to recall her with that. So we're gonna start working on a heel behavior. So we can start asking her to do that while we are walking. This is a very, very basic start to it. We're not gonna start asking this for outside. We're gonna start with this inside. Maybe next time, then we'll talk about how we can get that outside, because it's a very new behavior and she's just a little baby. So heel is a very complex task, and I don't want to set her up for failure and then just be upset when she fails on that. So the heel, I'm going to have her on her left side here because she enjoys that. So I'm going to call her away first, and the first step is just getting a stationary heel. So when I call heel, her coming and sitting right beside me. Skye! Oh, did you eat it? So I'm starting with that food lure. We'll fade this out as fast as we can. Heel. Yes, good girl. Okay, good girl. And then releasing from it. So all I want first is just getting that stationary position. Oh, I dropped it. You can find it. Stationary position, heel. Yes, good girl. Because the idea of that heel is for her to be able to stop with me or sit when I stop with her. Good girl, automatically. Okay, good girl. So we're starting that stationary position, just getting her to understand, just to get into it first before we start any movement. Skye, heel. So again, verbal cue first. Yes. Lure, mark, and reward. And then at that point, she's doing really well. I'll move her into a different scenario first. So I want her to heel from this front first. I want to go heel. I want to bring her into it. Yes, good girl. And then if she's doing well with that, I'm going to remove that food lure. Get your attention off here first. Skye, heel. Just my hand here. Oh, come on a little farther. It's a little harder without that food there for sure. Yes, good girl. So then she can start understanding that heel there, and then I can slowly get rid of this lure a little bit. Come back there. Yeah, go find it. Skye. Skye, heel. It's behind you if you want it, but you can also heel if you would like. Skye. Heel. Yes, good girl. So that was even less of a lure, but building that up until we can just do a heel with either just verbal cue or just our hand right here. Let's try again. Good girl. Again, I'm staying very stationary here, so she understands that it is her decision to come here, not me moving, that makes the cue. Skye! Oh, I burped in there. Skye! Heel. Yes, good girl. So that was a pretty low-level lure, and that's exactly what I want to see in this position. It's going to be harder from way over here. We're still going to have to guide her into it. Good. Okay, good girl. And then making sure that I'm releasing her from that too, so she knows that she is released. And then from there, we're going to start doing, we'll start without the food first. She'll be okay with that. I know she's really good on that food lure. Again, indoor first. Good girl. Good job. Good girl. And if we're doing this on leash, I want to hold leash in this hand so I can reward with this hand. Good girl, Skye. Next step here is just to work on positioning. That's the first step of having a nice heel, is just positioning. So I just want to walk a little bit, stop, and have her sit. Yes, good girl. And that's all we need to work on for this whole, until the next time that I see her here, is just positioning. So I'll remove that food from my hand, but we know that lure. So I'm going to have her, okay, good girl. I'll release her first, and then I'll show you what that full picture should look like for this week. Whoa. Whoa, drop. Good girl. Good job. Go get it. What it should look like is that verbal cue with some hand lure. Oh, you go get that one. Skye. Here, go on my knees with you. Oh, good girl. She's already got it for the most part. And then positioning can be a little bit better. So if you're having trouble with positioning as well, just her being here and facing forward, go up against a wall and practice with that a little bit. Skye, heel. Verbal cue into it. Yes, good girl. Mark and reward here. I'm gonna use my hand as a lure. We're gonna walk forward a little bit. I'm gonna stop. Bring my hand up. Yes. Okay. She laid down, but that's okay. We can do this a little bit later too. Let's try again. Skye. Skye. Okay. Good girl. Skye. Yes. Mark and reward here. When I'm walking, I don't want to reward her. I just want to do my hand lure. Stop. Yes. Mark and reward at that stop and sit. Good girl. I'm going to start doing some turns. Do a little bit of a turn. Afterwards, stop and sit. Yes. Good girl. We'll do more walking. Good. So she's a little out of line there, but that's okay. Good. And then we're going to do an outward turn like this. Stop and sit. Yes, good girl. So I don't have to, okay, good girl. Only verbal cue I need to do is heel, and then use my food lure to get all of those positions, and then release her from that. I don't have to ask her to sit or heel. I'm just gonna use my hand lure and prompt to let her know that what she should be doing in those scenarios, so that she knows that that's the full picture of the heel. So after that, we can start working in different areas, but it's all, heel. It's all about positioning in those very early days so that she knows where she should be. So working on positioning, we can go up against a wall to get a nicer heel here. Doing an outward turn, good. Yes. And I like to always sit and reward afterwards, so we get in the habit of stopping and sitting. That's one of the main points for me is when we stop, we sit. Oh, and then doing an inward turn. And we stop and sit. Yes. Good girl. And we stop and sit. Yes, good girl. And again, hand lure. Okay, good girl. Again, hand lure to bring her into it. Good girl, Skye. We're all done. That's good. Hand lure to bring her into it. We only mark reward when she's sitting so that we get out of the habit of her just getting a treat and then leaving that heel position. So that's what we're going to do for the first until I think I'll see you. Oh no. Either Wednesday or Friday here. But that's what we can work. Oh no. Okay, treat scattered for you. That's what we can work on until then.